Thank you. Our next dance segment utilizes the sucking power. In other words, you're pulling in and pushing the body forward, but the arm is actually drawing the opponent in close, bringing him into the sphere of influence of the punches, the knees, the elbows, the headbutts. What we're going to do is show you a little bit of some of the sucking power and how it's developed through the dance. Let's get busy. Now actually, the front arm is drawing the opponent in, bringing him towards you so that he can be hit, struck, kneed, punched, head-butted, whatever. What we're trying to show in this video is the principle from dance and not individual techniques. The techniques are endless. The technique can come from any art. But if you understand these principles and develop them through the dance, you get a better understanding of not only your art, but you get a better understanding of how the ancients developed power through the dance. It can be given in all different directions, forward and backwards, side to side. The force that's developed through the dance is awesome. Come on back to the front. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Now actually, what's going on? He's punching into this area. And when he punches slowly, the body sucks in this way. You can draw the opponent in this way. And this hand also monitors the second one, this way, here, so that you get a better understanding of the drawing power. As I said before, we're not teaching techniques. We're teaching principles. We're teaching the circle, forward motion, vertical power, and sucking power through the dance. So we get a better understanding of how, from doing the dance movements, how to develop these things without actually going through a lot of the things that other martial arts would actually do to develop their power and develop their particular way of doing it. It's just a different way. But we feel through the dance and through the music that it gives you that much more because you can really get into it. You're not actually training, but you're actually training inside of the dance. So as we move on, here, he comes in here. This way. Thank you. And now we're going to move. Our next dance segment is going to develop hopping power. In other words, being able to deliver force from your body to the opponent's body by utilizing a forward momentum with your feet. Before we were developing the upper part, now we're developing the lower part. Those aspects that we did earlier relate from the top motions, those particular techniques or those particular principles with the hands but we have to develop the covering distance portion of our understanding as far as martial art is concerned. So we want to give next the movement developing the hop forward. Let's get busy. What this is doing is developing a different type of footwork where you're moving in close, moving in quickly, being able to charge in, and also utilize that little hop to give you extra power, to give you an extra boost of energy forward to be able to do damage. So we would use any of the principles that we did earlier along with this hop. Three, two, one. Thank you. All right, now what we want to show is the hopping forward motion. In other words, when he comes forward to punch, this is what we want to develop. So that we get the understanding of moving forward and timing the blow with the hop, so that we get a little different feeling. We're getting a more aggressive type of power, delivering forward. And this one can be utilized, as I said, with any of the different hand movements. If he punches, this one going out. Inside. This is timing the blow, and also moving forward out to the side and developing that hop along with the motion going forward, along with the motion going to the side, or really just clashing, getting in tight. If he punches here, this way. Now this can be utilized with the knee, or can be utilized with the elbow, with clawing motions, any one of the different motions that we did earlier. Let's move along. Thank you. Moving to our next dance movement, what we're going to do now is, through the dance, develop the elbow strike. It's a very devastating strike, and we associate it with the horn of the rhinoceros. It's a very terrible tool to use inside of fighting, but it's very effective. We're going to start with it right now. As you can see, the hands are weaving, and we're utilizing the elbow on the upward angle, up under the chin or either into the sternum. We can see how the body sways to help to deliver power, to be able to throw that blow and do damage. The elbow can go not only vertically or on the diagonal angles, it can also go horizontally. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. What we're going to do now is show how that the body's weaving evades the punch, utilizing the same hand movements from any one of the different dances that we utilize, and tie that into the elbow strike so that you get a real good understanding of how the elbow's destructive power goes into the body. So if I just took it slowly and he punched, utilizing the first movement, taking out, I can weave back inside this way utilizing the elbow. Or I could just go straight in with the elbow up, this way. Or the elbow itself could move in and we could utilize the elbow. Now we can kind of tie it with some of the other movements. As he punches here, this way. Or going to the outside and over across the top and down, this way. Or we can utilize the elbow itself, coming down, back into the shoulder, and down this way, so that we get a good understanding of how the elbow crosses, how it hits, how it moves in. But we want to understand also the body's weaving this way, here and here, being able to put the body in proper position to utilize the elbow, getting the elbow out of the dance. Thank you. Now we're going to move to our next dance move that teaches the suppleness of the wrist and hand and forearm. This movement is utilized in the dance to be able to bring about a form of suppleness so that you can derive power from and through relaxation. Let's show you what we mean. These movements kind of speak to themselves as far as the suppleness is concerned. It just teaches you to move in many different directions with a supple arm and supple wrist. What we're going to do is move on and show you how this movement is applied and how it's actually utilized. 2, 1. Thank you. Now this movement is utilized so that you get an understanding of how the body moves with it. And it's actually being utilized to not only strike, but also to gather in the power of the opponent and strike forward. So what we get is this type of configuration inside of the block here. So if we're moving quickly here, this way. Or if we were taking it here, the movements are utilized very supplely. The arm can be, it can be this arm hitting this way. We can put the elbow in with it. Or many of the different movements such as the snatch, the elbow, and others that we utilized from the previous dances inside of the tape. This movement here can be struck against the arm to do damage in the nervous system on the arm. Or you can put it with many of the other moves. As I said before, it becomes very subtle and very quick. Also, we utilize it in conjunction with the lower line as far as the leg is concerned, to where we can apply different types of techniques on the legs. Here, this way, inside. Also, going to the outside, also going up this way, so that we get an understanding of this way, very supple with the hands. Thank you. So we move from the circular movements to the straightforward movements, the movements on the vertical. All these movements are taking particular principles of martial art and utilizing them from the dance into fighting action. What we're going to do now is we're going to go to the lower area, also still utilizing the top, but we're going to move to the dance portion that teaches us how to develop the knee strike. What we're going to do is show you how inside of the movement, as the leg raises, it can be utilized as a knee to be able to strike and do damage not only to the upper area but also the lower area of the body. Let's get busy with the music. Now this knee can be delivered to the low line. It can be done circularly. African martial arts and African dance is utilized in the hips. A lot of the motion is with the hips. So what we're doing is we're putting that hip motion into the movement. Now these movements can combine with one another, weave in and out from one another, but the movements are still inside of the dance. Three, two, one. Thank you. Now what we're going to do is when he punches here, you see that the hip movement delivering the knee. Also in grappling this way, we see how the knee is delivered. It can be delivered down or can be delivered up into the body this way. So whenever, here, this way. The knee is delivered inside of the motions that we're applying, anytime, especially in close, because I said, martial art, we're social. We want to be in close to the opponent, so the elbow can be utilized, the rips and tears, and also the knee. Thank you. Now we're going to move from our dance portion into our drill section, and we're going to give one basic drill that shows how to link the movements from the first movement with partners so that you get an understanding of how it relates. Actually, it's a grappling drill to be able to understand the sensitivity of an opponent so that you get a feeling of the opponent in not really contending against him, but working together with partners, being able to share information and knowledge, and also a kinetic sensitivity between the two partners. It's a portion of the art that is oftentimes neglected because most of the time we want to just get out there and bang. But developing sensitivity is of the utmost importance. And I think that with the dance and the development of the sensitivity, along with the music, gives a heightened sense of an awareness. It gives a better scope as far as looking at the complete picture of martial art. And as part of